Alright, welcome back to the video. Today we'll start with engraving the fret marks. I already did 5 engravings. It takes usually like an hour, but that's okay. Let it take its sweet time, but we only have 4 fret marks to go. I'm using a professional setup, as you can see here, like a professional engineer, using the compressed air to blow away the chips so I don't break the tiny eensy beensy router bit. The router bit is 0.6 millimeters in diameter, so yeah, it's really brittle. So yeah, let's start engraving some more. Next step is carving out the tailpiece. The tailpiece is going to be made out of 2 pieces of ebony that have been already glued together. So yeah. Next up, more CNC work. Alright, so I did a test carving for this tailpiece. It fits here snugly, it looks cool. I need to do this in the real deal. Alright, we're all strapped in, ready to get the tailpiece thing hole done. Yeah, it looks kind of shady again, but it supposedly should work. I tested it right there. So yeah. Alright, the tailpiece has been set in, fits snugly, very tightly, just needs a little bit of glue underneath and it's done. Still needs to drill through here with the body. Other than that, the body is now properly ready for only sanding and gluing of the neck. Alright, the next step is going to be filling up the engravings with some silver epoxy that I'm gonna mix right about now. Alright, the epoxy is cured now. I pulled out all the plastic shims I put in. Luckily I put some duct tape on it, so they kind of pulled out easily. So yeah, next step is sanding this epoxy down. Alright, the epoxy has been sanded down. It's time just to do a little bit of fixing work where the tear had occurred. Other than that, it's time for the frets. Alright, I fixed all the tear on the fretboard. Also drilled out side fret markers, which I'm gonna fill in with an aluminum stick. So next step is getting in these frets with this big press. So yeah, it's gonna be good. Alright, the frets are pressed in. It looks even better than before. I was using some stainless steel frets. Before I pressed it, I used a hammer just to anchor the frets in so they wouldn't flip on me. In the press, I'm using a 12-inch die, just so that's the same radius as the fretboard. And then it's going pretty smoothly. It looks awesome. So next step is sanding down those sharp edges. Alright, all the frets have been pressed in. It's just sanded down. Well, someone's enthusiastic about it, eh? Well, that's my little helper there. Well, next step, pressing in the side dots. Thank you, Lily, for the input. Before doing any fretwork on the neck, I first check if the neck is even straight, and it is. I already fixed the bow that it gets from inserting the frets, so next step is masking down all the fields between the frets and then sanding them down. The frets have been leveled, so next up, getting the body all nice and smooth, and maybe later even gluing the neck on the body. So let's go. Alright, I sanded over the edges on the control knobs recesses. Next step is to sand these inner edges and clean out the glue. So yeah, still lots of work ahead. Then probably next I'm gonna glue in the neck, which is ready. Excuse me, what's your problem? Control knobs are, recesses for the control knobs are too small for you? No. You're not gonna play this guitar. Excuse me. No, this guitar is not for you, this is for me, okay? Please let me have one guitar without your preferences, okay? Deal? Deal. Okay, next guitar is gonna be your guitar, okay, little buddy? Alright, the body has been roughly sanded to such a degree that I don't have to work too much later for the finish sanding. So next up, gluing in the neck. Alright, the neck has been glued to the body. It's now time to get it into the shape. So, let's go. Alright, the neck has been shaped up. Still waiting for the electricity so I can do some fine tuning of the neck with a Dremel, like right here and right there. For now I was using only hand tools to shape the whole neck. Took me only about 3 hours, but it's shaped up. So yeah, I need to wait out for the power to come back so I can do some detailed work and drill out the tuning position holes. Alright, the holes have been drilled. I just need to finesse this part here so that the tuner sits properly, because right now it's not sitting properly, but that's an easy thing to fix. So next up, lots more sanding. So yeah, so I need to do all this and fix all of this. So yeah, it begins. Alright, but before I do any sanding, I still need to put in the ferrules that I just received. These are flush ferrules, so yeah, still need to drill. Still need to drill through here and just install these on the back. So yeah, let's go drill. Alright, I started filing down the edges of the holes so I don't have a sharp angle here and potentially break a string. Also, I cut in a fret slot, so I'm gonna start a fretting here so that the strings don't dig in the wood and potentially split the wood. Alright, I added a fret to the tailpiece, so now the only thing left is to drill the jack hole, and then we're off to finish sanding the whole guitar. So yeah, we're gonna do this tomorrow, because today is way too late to do that. So on to the next day. Alright, everything is ready for the final sanding. I added holes here for the covers. And also drilled out the hole for the jack and this holes so I can mount the tuning head. So next up, whole lot of sanding again. So let's go. Alright, everything has been sanded off, tailpiece has been glued. Now it's time to apply the finish. I'm using some tung oil, so let's begin.
No way!